We'll be reading this evening. All right. So Numbers chapter 32. Of course, we're going to start at verse 1. Numbers chapter 32, and we're going to start at verse 1. Now the children of Reuben and the children of Gad had a very great multitude of cattle, and behold, when they saw the land of Jazer and the land of Gilead, that, behold, the place was a place for cattle. The children of Gad and the children of Reuben came and spake unto Moses and to Eleazar the priest and unto the princes of the congregation, saying, uh, yeah, I will read that as well. Verse 3, Adaroth and Dibon, Jazer and Nimrah, Heshbon and Eliel, and Sheben and Nebo and Beon, even the country which Yahweh smote before the congregation of Israel is a land for cattle, and the servants have cattle. So what's going on? Okay. So I know it kind of went somewhere, a few chapters ago, and now it's kind of coming back. So remember, uh, they was fighting, they were fighting other people when as they're making their approach, to the promised land and the wilderness. And remember, they had that fight, okay, against the other nations, they won. Now you have some children of Israel, all right, specifically who? The children of Reuben, also known, can be referred to as Reubenites, and Gad, referred to as Gadites. They're looking at the land, all right, look at the land of those they defeated, some other lands, not the land before they get into the promised land, right? This outside, and they're looking at it and saying, "Man, this is some good land for cattle." All right, because this will show when we talk about land that's blessed. You're thinking about land that definitely with us with that agriculture. Land that's blessed. You can have good cattle, right? It's very prosperous. So they're looking at it and saying, "Man, there's some good land right here." Okay, so now they're coming to Moses and to Eleazar, and the people, and they're going to make a petition. All right, they're going to make a petition about this land. Verse 4. We read that. I'm sorry. Verse 5, wherefore said they, if we have found grace in thy sight, let this land be given unto thy servants for a possession, and bring us not over Jordan. And Moses said unto the children of Gad and to the children of Reuben, shall your brethren go to war, and shall ye sit here? So they're petitioning, and they're going they're going that route, right? They're going to the leader saying, listen, there's some good land right here. Can we just stay here and possess this? Like, and I say all Israel, they know Israel going to be like, we're good right here with this land. We think this will be very prosperous for us. So the first concern, all right. So he said, we don't want to go, want to go to over Jordan. We don't want to go to promised land on the side of Jordan. We don't want to go there. We're fine right here. And Moses is like, y'all expect to stay here and your brother got to go to war? Because remember, the promised land, can't remember, that's occupied. We have to go in there and fight and get that land. So he's saying, y'all come in a petition saying we're good out here, thinking y'all think I'm not going to go over there and fight. So your brother's going to have to fight and do all that stuff. They fought. We all fought together and we defeated these people. You want this land, but now they're going to have to fight to get their own while you stay back. That don't sound fair, all right? Okay. So Moses is bringing a logical point. That you're gonna have your brother and go there while you sit back in this good land. You got your possession. They gotta try to fight for theirs. Let's see how it goes. Oh, I'm sorry. If y'all have something, let me know. Of course, as always. Verse 7. And wherefore discourage ye the heart of the children of Israel from going over into the land which Yahweh have given them. And now you can what? You're going to discourage them from going? And the thing to look at this as well, beloved, we should understand the Most High promised this land, right, for us. And if he's giving you something, beloved, if he promised you something, best believe it's the best option. All right. So it's a little, of course, we do hindsight, but not just hindsight. We look through the scriptures, you know, even this land is good that you see and is good for cattle, right? It shouldn't be compared to the land the Most High has promised you because he said he's giving the best to you. So this could be a lack of faith. Also could be, that greed looking at the eyes and saying, right, this is good right here. And I'm sure it was good land out there. However, the promise was to get into that land. That land he had, set apart for us. However, they're making a petition. You can ask. As we're going to see, you can ask, make your petition, but let's see how it goes. Verse 8. Thus did your fathers when I sent them from Barnea to see the land. He's saying your fathers did the same thing. For when they went up into the valley of Eshcol, they saw the land. They discouraged the heart of the children of Israel, that they should not go into the land which Yahweh had given them. So he's saying it's the same thing that happened. Forefathers did this. They went into the land, and what? They gave a report on the land. And what did that cause? That caused unbelief, that caused doubt, that discouraged the people. All right. Remember when they was going to the land before, um, this land. Remember when they was seeing the all the prosperous food and everything, they scouted out all the prosperous food, and then they seen what? I think it was I always say that is it AI? I think it's AI. Don't quote me on it now. But they seen they're like, listen, they're giants over there, right? Came back and gave that report. And it discouraged a lot of people, right? They was all happy and confident that, what, God gave us this land, blah, blah, blah. And because of that bad report, it discouraged people that did, and their faith got wavered. Oh, you start thinking, man, giants over there, oh man, they could beat us. We can't beat them. Right? Maybe we shouldn't go there. Maybe, right? And what made Caleb so good in this is that what? He had a good report. Okay? He had a good report. And the people just get caught up on the report. His report had to do nothing with the aspect of the danger that's there. His report dealing with this is the promise that the Most High has given us. And sometimes we fail to that same unbelief because we lack the faith in the promise of God, even though He shows us time and time again. They were just in Egypt. They couldn't get out of Egypt. God literally showed you y'all didn't have to lift a sword or anything. I deliver y'all out of one of the most powerful nations in the world. And y'all didn't lift a finger. And now, in this, y'all want to doubt because y'all got a report. And this is what happens. This is what even Satan, one of his devices, he'll do too. Trying to sprinkle that unbelief. Our biggest enemy is right up in there. Getting his mind to be purged from all doubt, all unbelief, and having unwavering faith in the word of God. If God promised you something, it doesn't matter what reports out there. If He promised you something, receive it. I do wait to receive it. However, Most High sometimes will allow people to what? Say certain things, throw certain things. Because if your faith in His word is solid, that shouldn't make you waver. The only time we waver, beloved, because that shows that we have some unbelief in us. And we got to purge the unbelief about. We ain't going to be able to stop people from throwing unbelief and their, lack of faith. They're going to do those things. However, you don't have to have their lack of faith, their unbelief to taint your faith. Okay? So this was one of the issues. Like you're about to do this, right? They hear y'all staying back here and they got to go to war. That's going to discourage them. Why? Because like, wait up, two tribes, they're not coming to fight with us. That's there's thousands of people that now they ain't going to fight. And as much as yes, they should believe in God, all those kind of things, it's still very discouraging. So already a great city we got to take over, and now we're down two tribes. Moses seeing this, and he's letting them know. Let's go to verse 10. And Yahweh's anger was kindled the same time, and he sware, saying, surely none of the men that came up out of Egypt from 20 years old and upward shall see the land which I swear unto Abraham, unto Isaac, unto Jacob, because they have not wholly followed me. Right? So remember that was given out that everybody that's over 20 was not going to see that promised land or get to enter the promised land. Right? Verse 12, save Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, and Joshua, the son of Nun, for they have wholly followed Yahweh. So those two, all right, they're over 20. They're going to be able to, because remember, they brought back that good report. So, and not just a good report, they what? They wholly followed. They were obedient. Okay. The report was just a manifestation of what was in their heart. And this is what we got to realize, beloved. The action that we take, a lot of them is just a manifestation of what's in us. Because they always believed God, trusted God. When the test happened, all the test is doing is manifesting what's inside. That's all the test is trying to manifest what's inside. The other ones that were acting like they about God, they was acting like they wanted to serve God, right? When that test came, it exposed them. They wasn't really believing in God. They wasn't really trusting God. A lot of them was just serving them because it was maybe convenient. Well, everybody else is doing it, so I don't want to be out. You have it's a lot of reasons why they were doing it. But the true worshipers, when you really serve, and that's why I say, beloved, it's all about that intent that you have. What is the purpose and intent that you have for hearing the word of God, coming to the classes? People have all kind of ungodly intents. And then when the tests come along, you see they'll have some ungodly responses. So this is why if we ain't going through a storm, all praises. This is the time you strengthen yourself. So when the storm happens, it's just going to manifest what you were doing. If you weren't strengthening yourself when the storm happened, it's just going to expose what? You being weak. But if you were strengthening yourself, you were building yourself up in the Lord, when that storm happened, that same storm, it ain't going to push you like it will if you were unprepared. So, beloved, we got to remember to be prepared, right? We need to be ready. Not always trying to get ready. We need to be ready. Let's keep going. Verse 13. And Yahweh anger was kindled against Israel, and he made them wander in the wilderness 40 years until all the generation that had done evil in the sight of Yahweh was consumed. So he was so upset, he made this journey because it wasn't a 40-year journey to get from Egypt to the land of Canaan. All right, to the problem. It wasn't a 40-year journey. He was angry at them because they still didn't get it. They still didn't trust in him. They still didn't be obedient. That caused them to make this journey very well. Caused Mosiah what? He made that journey very long because of their disobedience. And in that time, he what? He was killing them right off. However, they had done evil in the sight because they done evil, beloved. That's what's all you're gonna see. Do evil, and you're gonna get these kind of results. We don't want to what? Fall in that same example of unbelief as Brother Paul brings out. We see the examples. You don't think it's going to be a harsher punishment sometimes for us, beloved? When we see it, we seeing the answers. We getting the answers to the test. So, beloved, we want to make sure we're learning from our forefathers and foremothers. There's certain destinations the Most High have for us, but because of our unbelief, because we're being evil in His sight, He can take us all over the place. Someone's like, man, why not get delivered? Why ain't this over? Sometimes He's doing that because what? Wait, hopefully He's letting us get a chance, right, to get right with Him. But if we don't, He will put us in that wilderness and then consume us. And listen, we don't desire that on anybody. Verse 14. And behold, ye are risen up in your father's stead, an increase of sinful men, to augment yet the fierce anger of Yahweh toward Israel. He's saying, man, you replacing your forefathers. So he's saying you raise up your forefathers that went evil and they got consumed. You rise up and being just like them, increasing what? Sinful men. And now the anger of Yahweh is going to be towards Israel by doing these things. And this is what we got to think about, beloved. Even if you don't, even sometimes you don't love yourself. Sometimes I look, you look at the children, look at the friends, look, all those kind of things. Us sinning can impact so many other people. Sometimes we think it's just oh, well, I'm doing it, it just affects me. No, it can impact other people. Look at these stories. A lot of people impacted by sin. Let's keep going. Mhm. Verse 15. For if ye turn away from For if ye turn away from after him, he will yet again leave them in the wilderness, and ye shall destroy all this people. 16. And they came near unto him and said, we will build sheepfolds here for our cattle and cities for our little ones. But we ourselves will go ready, armed before the children of Israel, until we have brought them into their place. And unto our little ones shall dwell in the fenced cities because of the inhabitants of the land. So you see how they try to rectify. They say, no, no, let us build the sheepfold, let us build the stuff so we can, we can inhabit the spot. However, for our little ones, our next generation, however, we're going to go and fight with our brothers. Okay. So they're saying, now we're not going to forsake them. We want to build this stuff because this is what we want as our place. However, we're going to still go and fight, to kind of be that, not discourage them because we're still going to be here, but we just want to have this reservation of land, all right, and cities. Let's see how it goes. Verse 18. We will not return unto our houses until the children of Israel have inherited every man his inheritance. For we will not inherit with them on yonder side Jordan or forward, because our inheritance is fallen on to us on this side Jordan eastward. So he's saying we're not going to inherit with them on the yonder side of Jordan. So we're going to fight, but we're not concerned about that land. All right. We're going to stay what? On this side of Jordan. So on the other side of everything, we don't desire it. Our inheritance is going to be right here. This is what they want, beloved. I don't. I get they looking at that land and everything, but I guess they don't really believe that the Most High reserved the best for us. However, let's see what's going on. Verse 18. I'm sorry, verse 20. And Moses said unto them, if ye will do this thing, if ye will go armed before Yahweh to war, and will go all of you armed over Jordan before Yahweh until he have driven out his enemies from before him. I'm reading 22 as well. And the land be subdued before Yahweh, then afterwards ye shall return and be guiltless before Yahweh and before Israel. And this land shall be your possession before Yahweh. All right, so we see something going on. All right, so he said, all right, y'all go to war. All right, y'all come armed and y'all go to war and y'all help drive out the enemy. The land be subdued and land be subdued, right? We go and kick them out and now we settle. He said, you can return and be guiltless is the point. Afterwards, ye shall return and be guiltless before Yahweh and before Israel. And his land shall be your possession before Yahweh. So they granted him. He said, all right, if y'all do go to war with us, y'all help us take over that land and push the enemy out and all that kind of stuff, then y'all can surely leave. You can leave your inheritance or what? You can go and live here if you want. All right. So this was the deal they had. Once again, if you want to refuse the inheritance the Most High gave you, I mean, I wouldn't advise it, but that's what they want to do. Verse 23. But if ye will not do so, ye have sinned against Yahweh, and be sure your sin will find you out. Saying, oh, but if you don't do this, you go back on this. Oh, guess what? You sin before the Lord. And guess what? Oh, it's going to find you out. Basically, it's going to come and get you. You're not going to be able to escape. And a lot of us thinking we escape certain things. You don't escape. Satan give you that illusion that you escaped. But beloved, we don't escape. When we sinned against the Most High God, there's a payment that comes with it. This is why we repent and get right back to doing what thus saith the Lord. This is why some people don't know what they got sins that happened so long that they never got it cleared and everything. Guess what? That sin is still haunting them. And sometimes they'll say, man, it just seems like they might call it bad luck or this and that. But sometimes that's sin haunting them because they have betrayed the Most High God. Verse 24. Build your cities for your little ones and folds for your sheep, and do that which have proceeded out of your mouth. Okay, do what you said you was going to do. 25. And the children of Gad and the children of Reuben spake unto Moses, saying, Thy servants will do as my Lord commanded. Our little ones, our wives, our flocks, and all our cattle shall be there in the cities of Gilead. But the servants will pass over, every man armed for war, before Yahweh to battle, as my Lord saith. All right, so they're agreeing to it. Verse 28. So concerning them, Moses commanded Eleazar the priest, and Joshua the son of Nun, and the chief fathers of the tribes of the children of Israel. And Moses said unto them, If the children of Gad and the children of Reuben will pass with you over Jordan, every man armed to battle, before Yahweh, and the land shall be subdued before you, then ye shall give them the land of Gilead for a possession. And so there's something we learned as well, right? They had that, they're talking having that agreement with Moses, right? Moses gave it to what? But Eleazar and his right hand man, who we know is going to be the next leader, let them know. All right. And this is good as well because what about something happened, as we know, right? What about something happened to Moses? You have other witnesses to still follow through this. Right? Almost look at it as a contract or any kind of agreement. I don't want to put it as a trust get deep, but that's how you look at it, right? You bring the witnesses so now it can be established. So when this happens, no excuse. They know, nope, they get to have that land. Um, verse um, verse 30. But if you pass over with you armed, they shall have possession among you in the land of Canaan. And the children of Gad and the children of Reuben answered, saying, As the Lord has said unto the servants, so will we do. Verse 32. We will pass over armed before Yahweh into the land of Canaan, that the possession of our inheritance on the side of Jordan may be ours. And Moses gave unto them, even to the children of Gad and to the children of Reuben, and unto half the tribe of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, the kingdom of Sihon, the king of the Amorites, and the kingdom of Og, the king of Bashan, the land, with the cities thereof and the coasts, even the cities of the country round about. Mhm. So he's showing us a little deal that happened. And this is something, beloved, it's good to be transparent with your plans. Definitely if it's something, of course, like this, you're dealing with, God or whatever. It's good to be upfront, honest, and bring before the Lord. Because once again, He knows our thoughts, He knows our plans. The one thing I believe that the Most High would honor this is that what? They came before it and they asked. They weren't trying, they didn't do nothing sneaky like, oh, go fight and then, kind of go back or let the children of Israel kind of, their brothers suffer in battle. And right? They came before. This is our desire. This is our petition. We want this. I know that land is there, but I want my brothers to get and everything. I'm willing to fight, but this is what I want. And you can bring it out and being transparent like that. And the Most High can work with you with that. But if they would try to be sneaky or go another route, that could have cost them. So I would say kudos to them for being, upfront, honest, going before the man, the Lord, or the leader, and making that petition known. Verse 34, verse 34. And the children of Gad built Dibon and Ataroth and Aurora and Atroth, Shofan, Jazir, and Jagbaha, and Beth Nimrah, and Beth-horon, fenced cities and folds for sheep. And the children of Reuben built Heshbon and Eliel and Kirjathaim and Nebo and Belmeon, their names being changed, and Shema, and gave other names to the cities which they builded. So, of course, sometimes we'll change the names, and you'll see that if you look at history, beloved, uh, A place can be called something in one part of history and then it can be changed, right? A lot of times they'll flee if you had what? Different different person taking over. Sometimes they'll preserve the same land. Definitely if it was a big city or known city. Sometimes they might keep it. Sometimes the person that takes over, they change the name. All right. So you do have those things happening. Verse 39, verse 39. And the children of Machir, the son of Manasseh, went to Gilead and took it and dispossessed the Amorite which was in it. All right, they took their possession. And Moses gave Gilead unto Machir, the son of Manasseh, and he dwelt therein. And Jair, the son of Manasseh, went and took the small towns thereof and called them Havoth Jair. And Nobah went and took Kenath and the villages thereof and called it Nobah after his own name. See, named after himself. So we see these things and remember with Manasseh, right? You had Ephraim and Manasseh. They come from the brother Joseph. So sometimes you will see it. See Joseph, a lot of times you'll see him, for Ephraim or Manasseh, but they're still Israel. They're under what? Joseph. So that is pretty much it. All right, that is Numbers chapter 30. What's that? 32. 32. Okay. We will save. We'll probably do some skipping on on next week on chapter 33. But if you want to read some of those things, well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. However, we won't jump into the next one because it's a lengthy chapter. So we will end it there. That was Numbers chapter 32. Numbers chapter 32. And those that's watching online through YouTube, like always, we say Ayana have a thumb. All right, which means we love you all. And Shalom, Shalom, or Shalom, which means peace. All right, we wish you peace on this Sabbath day. So